Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Comic Blues. This is like my fifth or sixth take to do this Darth Vader comic. My camera is giving me fits. So we're reviewing today Darth Vader Dark Visions by some guy named Dennis Hopeless. It's issue number 2. It's the second self-contained kind of one-shot in this Vader comic done by the third stringers that Marvel's put on the project after letting Charles Soule off of his prolific 25-issue Darth Vader run and firing a guy named Chuck Wendig, who had a great grasp of the Darth Vader character and wrote some of the best Darth Vader stuff I've ever read. He got fired for shooting off his stupid mouth. He's a very ugly, sick man, and he said some ugly, sick things. I can't disagree with firing him. He's a jerk-off. But he knew Darth Vader. So anyway, what we have here by Mr. Dennis Hopeless is a story of a commander who's frightened of Darth Vader. And Darth Vader is going to come to take custody of a prisoner that Vader thinks is in custody but isn't. And the commander, having been promoted by Vader another time at a scene we've seen before in Star Wars where other commanders failed Vader and he used the Force to choke them out. So when he hears that Vader is coming, he has a flashback. Here's one shot of Vader in his own fucking comic book, huh? So here's this guy, he's all nervous, and this is just the look. Every single panel that has this guy in it, he has this same look on his face. So he's commanding this battle cruiser from the Empire, and he has to capture a guy that Vader thinks he has. Vader's on the way. So they go into an asteroid field, just like Empire Strikes Back, they go to an asteroid field. And he sends all his TIE fighters out into the asteroid field, even though his advisors tell him not to do it. And of course, they all get destroyed by the asteroids and by the rebels. And look, his eyes, look, his eyes, look, his eyes, look, his eyes. So of course look, his eyes. He's very worried. So if you remember from your Empire Strikes Back, there's a giant worm that Han Solo goes in. So this rebel also goes into the worm. And we know it's a worm, and the commander with the bug eyes knows it's a worm. So he orders his entire destroyer to go into the worm, where the Minocs are. If you remember, they get into your vents, they clog everything up. And so the guy escapes again, of course, and we spend the rest of the comic in the paranoia of the commander who, because he's so frightened of Darth Vader, who doesn't appear in his own comic, he freaks out, and basically it leads to, you can guess what happens. I'm not going to spoil it. Darth Vader doesn't appear in the comic except in one panel flashback. That's it. All right, so we had a very good run of this guy, Charles Soule, who wrote Darth Vader to 25 issues when Marvel cut it off. Soule told me on Twitter that he only had 25 issues. I don't believe it. I don't think it's true. I think Marvel stopped it. And I think they planned to replace him with this guy, Chuck Wendig. And then Wendig flamed out with his ridiculous tweets. He wanted people to consume disgusting things off of parts of his body and stuff. You can imagine he's a creep. He's a disgusting creep. But he had a great Star Wars comic that we'll never get to hear because of his bad behavior. So some of the things I'm hoping to do in this podcast, this Darth Vader, this is a pan. This is not a good comic. It's $4. And if you're expecting to see Darth Vader in it, save your money. So I want to do a pan here. I put out some comics from my golden age. These are all things I bought as a child that I took out of storage last year. Let's see. What collection would be complete without a real Hulk 181? As you can see, this month, Marvel has done a retrospective copy of Hulk 181. It's beautiful, isn't it? But here's the real Megillah. This is this gorgeous near mint copy. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It was in a box for 50 years. And of course, I also bought 180 and 182. I paid 25 cents for them. This is Nicky. He's my partner. Every podcast needs a cat. Right, buddy? He was walking on the comics before. He's just sleeping. Yes, you are, buddy boy. All right. This is Shazam in a Treasury edition. This is a really beautiful comic. These we used to get for $1. You might see them at cons. They're big. They're gorgeous. All right. This is usually where my camera busts out. Yeah, so these are all the Treasury editions. I put those out. There's your first Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night 32. Here's first Black Panther. First Punisher, ASM 129. Here's the Turning Point, of course, the Spider-Man. Gorgeous, beautiful copy. And this is the first Black Panther the Kirby came back for. All right, it looks like this is the first time it hasn't busted out. I've done like 10 takes. I'm getting scared. Okay. So, bottom line here is, one of my rules is, if it's called Darth Vader, I want to see Darth Vader in the comic. And Marvel and Lucas Group and everybody, you have a lot of people, me included, who could write better stories than this. This is just drivel. And it doesn't have Darth Vader in it. Jody Houser is doing some other comics. She's doing Knights of the Republic or the Age of the Republic, and that's a great series. I think she's doing really well. You could have given Darth Vader to her. She has a better understanding of Darth Vader than Hopeless here. All right, this is terrible. So just think about Star Wars and Marvel and the things that they've done. I mean, my gosh. Oh, here's this beautiful Detective Comics 1000 just came out. I'm going to review that next. All right, everybody. I think we made it to the end. So I'm going to click this button. The verdict is it's a not buy. It doesn't capture Darth Vader. Darth Vader isn't in it. The artwork is childish. All the dialogue and everything is monotone. The guy has one facial expression. Okay, I'm pressing end. So thank you, and we'll see you at a review soon.